Hindsight's countdown. Is that vodka?
I wish it was vodka. That's a
Right,
good way to start. Is it vodka? I wish it was vodka. That's the way to start a stream, isn't it? It's water in a gin bottle, but it is water.
Water.
I had
It looked like.
I had a colleague once, a colleague until quite recently, and I was drinking this water when I was working with her. She was like, "That's a gin bottle, that," and I was like, "The fact that you know it's a gin bottle says a lot about you than it does me, mate." Oh man,
Fabulous,
yeah.
fabulous. So, mate,
Anyway,
how's the team going? I'm.
awful.
Is
I
it going
mean,
bad? I haven't looked too much at the league since we spoke last.
I'm in a few leagues, and I think I'm not doing great in any of them. So this is my thing, right? I actually wanted to start with on a serious note and with a heartfelt apology, to be honest, because last week I feel really bad, and I have to apologize to every single Liverpool fan in the country or in the world for transferring in Salah and making him my captain, and also Luis Diaz transferred. And I did that, and of course they then did nothing. So I do blame myself for all of that. So sorry,
Well,
Liverpool.
I took a -4 hit to bring in Salah last week because
Really?
yeah. So since we last spoke, I had a panic. I can't remember what happened, but I ended up spending a transfer early, which I never normally do. I normally leave it to like today to do it.
Yeah.
And then for the reason that affected me when I did it, when I came around to the sort of deadline, I had another player that was out, and I had to swap him in. So
I got it.
I messed the transfer up one week, and the funniest thing is, right, my little one, my 6-year-old, he wants to play, so we picked a team for him. Right,
Nice.
haven't done anything with it. Went to look at it last week. He's got 40 more points than I have. Haven't done a thing.
I love that. This reminds me of a long time ago. I used to work in boogies, when I was a student, and when it came every year to the time of like the Grand National, of course, Grand National Day is a really busy day. Everyone's coming in, putting their bets on, and all these tips are saying the problem with the Grand National is this: is like they'll go by like 1 year of racing form, jockey form, performance, what the horse can do, strength, all that kind of stuff, and they'll make the pick. And then some old grandma comes in and will pick the same horse or a better horse who performs better because like they like the color of the jumper that the jockey's wearing. You know what I mean? And it's the same with with FPL. You know what I mean? You can say, "Oh, when I think about it, it's so hard and do this," and at the end of the day, you just get bad luck, or especially the start of the season with form. You know what I mean?
As you say, it's form. And hindsight's clearly a wonderful thing, but Salah and Haaland, because they had the summer off, because they were rested, because they'd had a good pre-season, etc. Probably should have both been in from the start, but they were so expensive that I didn't do it. But last week I had to go, right, we need Salah. So I brought him in last week. I had to take Kevin De Bruyne out, so I was scared about doing that to be able to afford Salah and transfer somebody else. So I've paid 8 points for transfers since the start of the season.
Okay, there you go.
So that old 5, you can have up to 5 transfers. Well, never applies to me because I never get any. It's like I've always spent it by.
Yeah, but it's so the transfer, because it does make it more fun transferring all the time as well. I mean, that's like the fun is the picking the team and all that kind of stuff. But so I've been good. I've made 3 transfers, but I saved them up. So it was the first time ever, of course, in my history of playing FPL that I've made 3 free transfers, which felt good,
Yeah.
But I did them all just after the international break. I forget who it was now, but I know
that was my plan to save them up for then, but it just never worked out that way. It was like, this is out. It's like,
But does that mean you have Haaland and Salah in now, or just Salah?
I do, yeah. Haaland and Salah now. Yeah.
That's insane. What you got? Like everyone else costs like 4 million or something.
I'll show you. Let's have a look. So
you gotta show me because I'm curious.
Let me. I can work it out. I share my screen here now. Present.
Yes.
It's not share screen. That's what I need to click on. Entire screen, and I think this is the one you want to see. Make sure, you can see that. There we go. So I went for. This is my current team. Brentford keeper. Porro, Mitchell, Trent at the back. Smith Rowe, Eze, Fernandez, Salah, Haaland. I got João Pedro up front, but I was reading the Athletic. He's doubtful, right? So what I did earlier, I'm like, well, I don't want to switch him out because I think I'd lose. He's gone up in value since I bought him, but I don't think I'd get the money, and then I wouldn't be able to buy him back. So say he's 5.6, and I bought him for 5.5. I get 5.5 when I sell him. So I've kept him, but I did have Matty Cash, the Aston Villa defender, in.
Yeah.
So I just went. I transferred him out because he's injured till at least next week. And I didn't want to waste the transfer on someone who's going to be on the bench. But I'm like, this actually makes sense because this guy here, this Forest defender, Ola.
He plays all right.
Yeah, well, he's done very well as well. So he's got he scored each week, and he didn't score last. He had 8 points against Liverpool last time out. Clearly, looking at the how he does very well. He does very well away, and I think he's probably. Is he home? We might be away to Brighton. I can't remember. But
look at you with your fancy Zoomic highlighting and brings it to our attention. I love it, mate. You're an absolute seasoned pro at this.
So I brought him in, right? So if I'm gonna stick with Pedro up front. If he doesn't play, fingers crossed, they have a clean sheet. So if he doesn't play, I'm happy for Brighton to score loads of goals. If this guy comes in, a nice clean sheet for Forest will be my my happy return. I think
that would be that would be all right. But this is, but the thing is, look at it. You got actually somehow in your team, you've got the most expensive forward, the most expensive midfielder, and the most expensive defender.
Yeah,
it's not bad, mate.
It's all right, isn't it? I was quite happy with it. No, I did have, as I said, I did have here Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm in an Ari.
And also Fernandez, who I've taken him out by now, by the way.
Well, I've hung on to him because his expected goals is high, so he's getting chances every week, and he got an assist last time when he went back to his more normal role. But I am toying with the idea of swapping him for Rashford, but that I'm not going to spend 4 points on doing that.
That's a knee jerk, that one, isn't it, mate?
Well, he's hitting a bit of form, Rashford. He's had 2 good games. Granted, he probably have 10 bad games now and get no point.
Yeah.
But if I do that, he's currently 8.4, 8.5 million. Rashford is less. He's in the 6 million range. So free up some more money for me to upgrade Wood. Or
I'll tell you what I'll do. Every week I'll let you know who I'm transferring in, because then you're going to perform terribly.
And I'll give them a wide berth, mate. Yeah,
absolutely. That's basically. Actually, I used to do that with a friend of mine. Like, he was an amazing FPL player, and every single time I was going to make someone a captain, I'd just let him know. I was like, "This person's my captain," just... because again, football is the only thing I'm superstitious for. So Yeah,
I'm looking for you. This is the Power BI Fun and Games. I'm looking for you in the league here, so we can have a look at you.
Yeah, Power Fun and Games. I am 34th. Men with Van de Ven, which, by the way, I love that. That the only thing I'm proud about with my team is my team name. Did you ever watch the what was that show, the Peep Show?
I didn't. I've heard of the Peep Show, but I've never watched it.
An amazing comedy, and there's one episode where one of the main characters, his best mate, who's a bit crazy guy, super hands. He goes, "Oh, I've got myself a van. It's great. It's great to be a man with a van." You all this go. "You should get yourself a van too. And then we can be men with Ven." And then so when I saw Van de Ven, I was like, "Okay, it's got to be men with Van de Ven." So there you
go. Fantastic. And you haven't got him in
So this is look, my team. So I tell you what I did. My 3 transfers. I put in Salah, Diaz, and
I'll let you share your team here. I'm just looking at, you got Weezer here, and then Havertz and Welbeck getting nil points.
Yeah, that was a strong moment for me. I really enjoyed that. It's nice to see the point on the bench. Makes me feel really good about my choices.
It's awful. Yeah, I know.
I like to feel as good about my FPL choices as I do about my life choices. Just really. Yeah, but
have a look at your team there. Show us what transfers you made.
I can't. Can you? Where do you see historical transfers? I don't know.
I haven't. I don't know if I'll be able to see yours. Hold on. If you go up to
1 second. Let me share my screen. You can let me know.
yeah, go on.
Share
I can't remember.
screen. Yeah. Share screen.
There's a game week history on there, and I think it tells you the number of transfers, not necessarily the ones you've made.
You got it?
Not yet, mate. No.
You've got to. I think you've got to allow it or something.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Yeah.
You got
Sorry,
it?
my
Cool.
fault. Yeah.
So I've made no transfers this game week. I'm yet to do anything. I'm probably not going to be honest, because I'm not overly unhappy with my team. I think I've got some good players in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Saka.
Walker didn't play for the first few weeks, which was I didn't. Again, that's just me not knowing enough about football. You know what I mean? Getting the rest and stuff, what have you. But Onana, no worries with that. Happy enough with that. But the three transfer I was Salah, and then Luis Diaz, and Welbeck. And I forget who they were playing last week. 1 second, let's go on there. Yeah, they were playing Ipswich. So I was like, all right, getting the forward against Ipswich. Of course, Ipswich first point this season or whatever. So that straight away.
What's the score? It was a draw last week for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, 0-0.
Yeah, they drew 0. Oh,
and what the thing is, I brought in Welbeck, and obviously because it's me, these amazing decisions. I dropped who was that? I dropped that Villa forward who then scored 2 last week.
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. I dropped Watkins because Ollie Watkins was like 9 million or whatever. I was like, he's done nothing the first 3 weeks. Whatever, he's gone. Put in Welbeck. Watkins scores 2. Bloody Welbeck.
Well, thanks.
Just and Brighton do nothing against Ipswich, who have been conceding like it was like going out of fashion.
Yeah, he's a good player, Welbeck. He doesn't score that many goals. I don't know what his assists are like. He's clearly had a good start of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And the first 2 games, you're like 12 and 9. I thought, okay, two against Arsenal. Like, I mean, it's Arsenal. You know what I mean? Not a big deal, right? They got a solid defense. Yeah.
Did he get 2 points? Yeah.
So he got 12 points. So he scored. He got an assist against Everton.
Yeah,
and he scored.
Yeah.
I didn't know he didn't score. Did he score?
Yeah, is it goal scored?
Yeah, he got off.
Yeah.
So goal scored. He got himself an assist. Nothing against Arsenal. Like I said, that's fine by me. No worries about that. So I thought Ipswich, he's going to score against. Everyone scores. I could score against Ipswich. You know what I'm saying? But apparently not. Ipswich know what they're doing now, and that didn't happen.
They've
so that
worked it out a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, so I dropped Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And the other person I can't remember, to be honest. But so then that's we all know that. This is like what I call the ferry factor, right? 14, 10, 17, 2. Come on, man. Against Forest, you're kidding me.
Close that down. If you go to your points, right? If you go to your points thing, you should be able to scroll back between. So you click on points at the top, and then you can go back to previous, and it'll show you who you had.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Palmer. I dropped Palmer. That's right. Controversial decision. I know.
Palmer. Yeah, he's not. He hasn't played much, has he?
Yeah.
I don't think.
So I thought. Yeah, so I got rid of Fernandes, I got rid of Palmer, and I got rid of Ollie Watkins, and then in came the absolute Luis Diaz.
You saw Watkins, put the only forward who scored a goal on the bench.
Well, yeah, exactly. But who? That's the question. Who was actually? Where's the information? View information. They were playing City.
Yeah.
I stand by that decision. Yeah, I mean,
I do. All I'd say is Man City. They do leak goals, and this guy does score a fair few.
It's fair.
So if I'd had him, I'd have probably. Let's have a look. Let's go back. What would I have done differently if I'd have done it differently?
But look at this, and this is a good thing. Not only is it in my team,
back till November now.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's injured, so amazing.
So I might have been tempted to. I can see why. I wouldn't have. I'd have picked Welbeck playing Ipswich and asked the Arsenal forward, and then Smith Rowe's looking good. Gordon, perhaps.
Maybe it's Gordon, but who were they playing?
But I wouldn't have Gordon on the bed. Wolves, they played. He had a storming game last week. I watched him.
So I don't think I
don't think you could have done much different there. I'd have probably done the same thing.
Yeah,
hindsight's a wonderful thing, but
intrinsically wrong.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
But again, they played Wolves, and he got 2 points,
which is strange because he had a
start, right?
He had a fantastic game though. He run Wolves ragged, and he made the runs he were making. The Wolves goals came because the runs he made. The goals that they scored came from the runs that he made, freeing up the space for other people.
But that's the nature of FPL. You can have players who have great games, but you get no points for it. You don't get points for those
Yeah,
runs. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
No,
unless
no. Yeah,
you keep getting an assist, then
it's no good to you, is it? It's no
it's
good
no
to
good
you.
to me, mate. As you can see by
No.
my league position, it's no good to me.
Oh well.
Who ate all the pie charts? 77. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many. But basically not the best start of this season. So, but I'm happy with my team. I gotta say, I think it's a. That being said, I refuse all season. I don't care how much I lose or how much I don't win. Put it that way. I'm not putting Haaland in my team all season. I'm not doing it.
You're not going to go a season without him, yeah?
I'm having a Haaland free season. It's like, like when you have a year without alcohol or whatever. I'm having a year without Haaland,
I've never had a
even
year
though.
without alcohol, mate. I can do about a week or two. Maybe a
But
dry January or something, but
I think after my year without Haaland, I might need a solid year with alcohol just to like
you might
for
want to
more of
run
the
them in parallel, mate, just to
yeah,
get
yeah.
over the pain every week.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, you're right. Like, so the guy he had his rest during the European Championships, right? So
Yeah.
so great. But that being said, he started the season just ludicrous. I love watching him play. It's
Oh yeah.
amazing. But I hate how he ruins FPL because if there's a player that you have to have, it just makes it less fun. You know?
It does, but you then have to because I kind of work this out. They have a thing called there's a term they have where he's picked by X amount of people and he's captained by X amount of people. And it's
Yeah.
like there's a total ownership percentage, and if it gets above like a certain figure,
Mm.
you then have to back the games. You want to make sure you drop him when he's bad, and then you make so many more points up on the
Mm.
people who just own him consistently. So if you can
Yeah.
actually make a differential by bringing him in and out, if that
Do
makes
you mean
sense.
actually buying and selling him?
Yes,
But he's so expensive. That's so
I
hard to
know
do.
it is
That's I
hard
mean,
to
it's
do.
really I think and they price him at like whatever, like 15 million or something. So that's very, very hard to do.
Yeah, it
Because
is now. It wasn't in his first season when he was 11
yeah,
million.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I agree. It is hard to do now because what happened then is anyone who's left that hasn't got him buys him, and his price goes up, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I'm
But
stuck.
this is also I mean the funny thing about FPL is it always gets to the end of the season, say the after Christmas or maybe the final 3 months of the season. If you look at everyone's teams, they're so similar. Like there might be like 3 players that are different, but
Yeah,
it's having Haaland there kind of doesn't make it start that way, but it just reduces the number of permutations a team can have anyway.
yeah.
Um,
They will converge, and then
mhm.
doing that, if you got that like in and out, buying and selling. Whether you can buy and sell him now, I don't know if it's viable, but
It'd be interesting. I mean, I'm still again, like I said, I'm with my team. Like I know, I guess I'm not the best FPL player in the world. And it doesn't really bother me. But I'm with my team now. I'm going to try and go 3 weeks between transfers because that extra transfer makes a huge difference. I know I'm going to fail, but I'll try my best. But I've done it thus far.
well,
Um,
as I said, with my lads team, we set and forget type of approach, and like I had a look, I'm like, oh, so he's playing in this league as well. Let me reshare you. Hold on, we'll see
yeah,
if we can find him now. Bear with me, share screen.
there's many buttons to press when you're sharing screen, doesn't it? It takes
It's
longer when you
awfully
when you
complicated,
press
isn't
it.
it? Awfully
Yeah.
complicated.
Too
All
many,
right, so
too many
let's come
options.
back.
You can share a window,
Yeah.
share a particular thing, just like a share. Same when you're at work when someone like calls you with a problem or something, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just share my screen," and then they share the screen, but they don't share the entire screen. They share just that one particular application, and then they
Yeah.
open a second one. It's like, I can't see that now. Can you just share your screen, mate? It's just,
I know, mate. I know. Right. So there he is, Alexander the Great.
that's good. I like
All
him.
right.
I like him.
So he got 45 points last week. I can't remember what changes he made. We'll have a look now. Pretty disastrous for him. He had Haaland. Oh, bless him. Right. So,
Hmm.
my little FPL story. This guy here, Cameron Archer.
Archer. Okay.
He plays for Southampton now. Sold from Villa in the summer for 15 million. Well,
Okay.
my 6-year-old, his team, Xander's team here, he's a decent footballer and he plays for Bilston Town. And
Okay.
Cameron Archer's brother is involved. He's involved with the club, but he also does this sort of coaching thing that Xander goes to.
Get you, yeah.
And on Monday night, after the international break, see if I can find this photo. All right, can you see that, Ben? Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
So that's Cameron Archer, right? That's the guy
Yeah.
in that photo there.
Cool.
Well, I'm there, and he wasn't starting, and I wanted to bring in. Xander wanted to bring in Salah, so I'm like, okay, well we can work this out. We brought no, he was there and he took a photo. I said, oh, are you likely to be starting on the weekend? He said, yeah, I'm starting. I'm like, oh, this is good to know because he hasn't started yet.
There you go.
Right,
inside info, like it.
Penalty for Southampton after 30 minutes. Cameron's taking the penalty. I'm like, oh, go on, and the keeper saved it. I was like, oh,
nightmare, poor guy.
She ended up with no points. But then
I hate that.
week before,
that so much. Do you know what I hate about penalties? It's like when the player takes a penalty, they miss the penalty, but they're not getting the rebound. You still get the negative points for the penalty miss.
Yes.
That's upsetting.
Harsh.
You know what I mean?
It is. It is upsetting. It is. It's like that's risk and reward in it because like you got to pick the penalty takers, haven't you? Because usually they're the team's top scorer if they get their share of them.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't want to give Joe Pedro up, but there we are. He's gone by the wayside.
Look, there you go. You got your Spurs player Pedro Porro as well getting 1 point. This is just
Well, this is Xander's team. It's very similar to mine, but it's not identical. But he got 76 points for that.
That's because it's this thing. But the thing is, I think we have to reassess the points thing, right? 76 points used to be pretty good, but now because of Haaland, or at least it's the Haaland in the first few weeks, you captain Haaland, you got like 50 points straight away. You know what I mean?
Well, I did think about triple captaining Haaland in one of those first two games. The first game when they were first game whenever they played Ipswich, I'm like, oh, there's a hat trick here, and I'm feasible. Like, oh, it's too early. But they've changed the rules now, so there's less double game weeks, and there's another chip to play in January. Exactly. I might not get the triple captain on a double game week anyway, and if I do get a double game week, how often does the person I pick score 3 goals? So I should have just done it.
I completely agree. If I'd had him in my team, I honestly probably would have done. That's a lot of ifs and probablys. I get that, right? But I think the same way. I mean, obviously, if a team is going to have a double game week, it's probably going to be the likes of City, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
you'd have Pep rotation then, Pep roulette, and
exactly,
and he won't play in both games anyway.
Yeah, if you're gonna, I mean, early doors in the season, what have you, but the City, of course, are going to be up there at the end of the season for sure.
Yeah.
So when you have your double game weeks, you're going to be like, FA Cup, whatever. He's going to be rested for one of those games because there's going to be one of the games where it's going to be like a weaker team. And City being City, they have the squad depth. So he'll sit on the bench, and then he'd be like, "Oh, here's my double game week," and no, it's not. It's just
a game week, and he sat on the bench with his feet up.
Yeah.
So,
and also, like I said before, like my chips, especially the triple captain, are just notoriously wasted. Every single time I start looking, I'm like, where shall I waste my triple captain this season? I really, really don't think it's ever going to help me. The last one, I forget the details, but I'd waited so long to play it, and I picked the week where I forget who. I think it was something like Chelsea had a double game week, and it was Cole Palmer who was doing well last season, something like that. And I was like, this will be great. I'm going to get like at least I'll get like 50 points, like for sure.
Was he injured for that game week?
No, he wasn't injured. He wasn't injured. He played, but like nothing. Like I think he didn't. I think he got like maybe 1 assist across 2 games, and I was just sitting there. I was on my bed, lying in the fetal position, crying. It's like not fair, man. But I think what I really what I do generally love about FPL is you do this thing. Like I said before as well. I'm not sure did I share my my report last week. I can't remember. There was no data in it, so I probably didn't, to be honest.
No, I didn't see it, no.
I'll see if I can find it. Because I changed my website. Everything's harder for me to find. Not that much just to say about it, to be honest. Simply that I go through this report and I'll see what's going on and who's like had no blanks. And well, let me share my screen. We're sharing our
Go for
screen.
it.
See how
Oh,
fast I can do it
yeah,
this time.
I'll go
Timing
check
myself.
it on as well.
Window. Boom. Share. Oh, matter of seconds. There you go. It's ready for you to approve, mate.
There we go, mate.
Right. So you see the pie charts. Everyone loves a pie chart, right?
Yeah.
So basically, this is what I use generally to not to pick my team, but to help me pick my team. You know.
Yeah.
So top score, who's percentage of selected by managers, right? Nice and easy. Then also the same thing here. So I go, okay, so the top 25, and the number of percentage who've been selected, and the points, all that kind of stuff. So you can kind of find, who is not very selected but's getting loads of points, right? Transfer interest, so like nothing particularly massive. So I'll go through this, and I'll maybe can you see it now? Draw through. Yeah, you get a bit of draw.
I like your fixture difficulty chart, mate. That's good. That is.
Yeah, it comes in real handy because that's one of the things. Because I don't know. I follow football, but I forget about certain things. You know what I mean? Like injuries and stuff. So I'll always only show people 100% fit. Put that on. But there are bits and pieces that are real handy.
It's good.
So I'll go through. I forgot my original point. What am I talking about? I just ramble on.
You were talking about you show your thing. What were we talking about before that?
Just me talking about like nonsense.
How you pick your side,
right? This is exactly. So I'm picking my side, and I'm going through, and I say I've got my 3 transfers coming up, what have you. So I'll go through my stats, and I'll check this, and I'll drill through, and I'll say, what's the game week? Oh yeah, so what I mean. And then looks a bit shit, not many results, but what I mean. They've scored this and against home, and they had 2 matches, and so I'll go through so many different possibilities of who I can pick, right? And then of course, I make my selection, and then my selection doesn't go very well, perhaps, or maybe it goes okay. But there's one person who has an amazing game week, and I'll be like, oh man, I was going to pick them as well. Forgetting the fact that I was going to pick basically everybody. I looked at every single player in the entire fantasy football, and I was like, oh, I almost picked them. I was like, yeah, you almost, what I mean? And especially this season when you got like 5 transfers at some point, I was going to pick even more. It's nonsense, man. I'm just lying to myself. It's just nice to feel like you were. It's like, again, go back in the days where I worked with the bookies. You'd have people come in and they'll be like, you'll play like one like the national lottery, but of course less money. Like, and pick the 5 numbers and like, right number. You have like 49 numbers to choose from. Oh, I picked 10 and 11 came up. I was only 1 away. It's like, no, you weren't. You weren't 1 away. That's not how it works. It's not like if 10 could have got the next one would have been 11. You weren't 1 away. Oh man. But I love that psychology. You have just like selecting stuff and going through, and you always want to feel like you were somehow close.
Yeah, that's. I think that's where from a psychological point of view, that's where the addiction comes in. It's the feeling of being close that keeps people going back, as opposed to if you win or just lose. It's like, oh, there we are.
Yeah, it's so true. I tell you, I mean, back in sorry, mate, you're gonna keep it.
No, go on.
No, just back in the days when I worked in bookies, it was crazy because I worked kind of all around the Northeast. I worked for William Hill,
Right.
And I was working in like a high street bookies, and every now and then they would send me to like the tracks, like the horses. And I think I did like, is it York races or something? There's one there.
Okay. I don't really follow horse racing, but I know the famous sort of like courses. But
I mean, I never went to like Royal Ascot. They wouldn't send a Northern to Royal Ascot, mate. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the amount of money. Someone came up once. It was back in the day where Tiger Woods was big. Was really like in golf, so a long time ago. And someone came up and they wanted to put a bet on for whomever to win the golf. I forget who it was. And this guy, and I'm used to like working the high street book. I'm used to like maximum bets you're going to take from what I've seen on a day-to-day basis was like, like a few grand on that. But for the most part,
someone putting like, a few grand down on a bet.
Oh yeah, that's like not that uncommon. Like in the high street, like you cannot, and then you're done. This is why even now, less so than then, I can count money extraordinarily fast because I was so used to doing it back then. There was no machines for it, but like most, it's just like $10, $5, that kind of stuff. But anyway, this guy, when I was at the horse races, he wanted to put a bet on the golf, and he walked up to me, and I forget the exact number, but I'll try not to exaggerate. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll put whatever Ernie Els to win the Wood to win the Open 30 grand on that." And I laughed. I thought it was a joke, you know. I just like burst out laughing, and he looked at me. I was like, "Oh, he's serious," and he just like whacked down 30 grand cash on the counter.
Wow.
And like me and Carrick had to count like 30 grand, and I was just kind of like, "This is."
Are you allowed, like? Did you have to get approval? Like, I have no idea how it worked, but like clearly the odds on that and the loss for the
Yeah.
company, if it comes in, is that needs approval as well, or is it like do you have ranges on it? I never know how that works, to
Yeah,
be honest.
basically over a certain amount, you'd always have to like call up the. I don't know how it works now. Again, a long time ago. It's different now because also they use like systems where it automatically goes to the office. Back then we were still using, or when towards the end those machines just started coming in, but when I first started they were still using the carbon copy paper,
Yeah, okay.
So if over a certain amount, you'd have to ring it in. So like the people who make the book would know about it, and then they would say yes or no. Also, if it was over a certain a return as well. So over a certain amount bet, over a certain amount return. But that depended on if they were betting on the horses or if they were betting on football or
sport.
whatever.
Gotcha.
Had a
Right.
guy bet
Did
on
he
the weather
win,
once.
mate? Did this person win?
No.
No.
I didn't know the guy, but I was gutted. For anyone losing 30 grand is like,
Well,
yeah.
but then it makes me think like. Well, I don't know. It makes me think lots of questions that are probably not suitable for this. Really, like where did it come from?
This is but it's the stuff that you would. I mean, the stuff that you see in the bookies is just
Oh
an
wow! It
entire.
sounds like an experience. I've
It
never
was.
worked in the bookies, but
I mean,
I've
for
only
the
ever
one.
been in one on a handful of times, in truth. So
Yeah, I mean, but before I worked in them, the only bets that I'd ever been really placed before was like at the stadium, like putting like £1 on the football and stuff. So that's the only thing I knew about going into it. It was I remember that my first ever work day was FA Cup final day. I forget which year. Wouldn't be that hard to remember. And it was mental.
Who's playing, mate? Who was playing? I'll tell you the year.
Oh, no idea.
You can't remember. Okay.
I was just like a flood of customers putting bets on, and me just standing there going, "What the hell is going on?" I mean, I guess I was 18, right?
Right.
So I was born 82. So there you go. FA Cup. So yeah.
2000 Liverpool.
Yeah. Maybe it could have been.
I think Liverpool too. I might pass this year after. I'd have to go and look that up, mate. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it was but some of the crazy stuff like customers do, and it was just like an entire experience, I mean. But I've since that entire working at the bookies, I've never gambled. I mean, that's not true. I occasionally gamble, and it's like €2, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's never like a regular thing, because you just don't, as you said before, it's that rush of I play the lottery every week. Yeah. But I don't even know my numbers.
Oh, I don't even do that.
I selected them and I just got to €2 a week on the lottery. That's it.
I don't know why I've never like got into it. Being like, as much as I love my sport, my football, I've never really done it. So
it's a slippery slope. So you've got the
so I've never done it. I've never been a regular at it. If that makes
of course.
sense. It's like,
bet on us, okay.
Yeah. But there we go. Oh, there we are. We got on to betting. There we are.
Yeah,
excellent.
well, it's just somehow sports and stuff. But someone's had someone's commented their team, or someone had a Raya,
what did they say? Have I missed it?
Or Sanchez, Saka. Not really entirely sure that I understand what they're saying, but they said
Raya, Mbowe, Wood. No, I don't understand the question. Sorry, Mustafa.
Or Sanchez, Saka.
Cheap forward.
I wasn't sure if I meant cheap for real, but yeah.
I'd go if that was me. I'd stick with the first one.
Well, I like this idea. Do you do team reviews? Let's do a team review.
Yes, let's do a team review. Pop it in, Travel. We'll have a look at that now.
So basically, if you have a team and you've scored less points than me, I'll happily say negative things about your team, because normally I may say negative things about my team. So stick your team in, and we'll definitely 29 points is a stinker. I got to say that is
a stinker.
That's a really upsetting week. It reminds me of my last game week of the previous season. To break my all-time record of points, I needed something very moderate. Like I think I need like 65 points off the final week, and I ended up getting like 47, and I was just devastated. It was just like anything under 50 is very upsetting, I gotta say.
So I take the sort of like take it steady type approach. Always give us a team idea. I'll see if I work out how I can find that now. Here we go.
I used to have a Power BI report where I could
pop the team name in. I'm just trying to. I can't copy.
Yeah,
and
I've
paste
got it. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Present, share screen. We're getting good at this, kind of. For a middle-aged person.
I got to add you back in there, haven't I?
Me, not you, don't worry.
Add the stage. There we go.
Got it?
Yeah, let's make that bigger.
Oh, my Lord.
So we got Isaac up front. He went off injured. Can you zoom in a little bit, Ben, so I can...
Yeah, sorry, mate. Of course I can, yeah.
Better? There we go. Yeah. So, Guardiola, Trent, Robinson, Eze. Rodgers is interesting. He hasn't done an awful lot there. Salah, Garnacho, Saka, Isaac. No money. That is a stinker. I would switch. I would have probably gone with Raya in goal. Is it Raya down there? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
So I'd have gone with Raya in goal.
Who were they playing? That's the question, right?
Yeah, but this is last week.
They were playing Spurs. They were playing Spurs.
So
and then
who's
Henderson.
the other goalie? Henderson.
They would play Leicester.
Crystal Palace. Yeah, I can see why you took that route. How many transfers do you have available?
He's got 0 transfers there, so
that's for last week, isn't it? So okay.
So he's taken 3 the week before, though. I got 86 the week before, though. So I mean, you had 62. Yeah. 62.
There we go. We're getting done here, mate. He's probably got more points than we have.
Yeah. Stop your whinging, man. It's brilliant. You're talking about you want to point. I get pointers from you. I'm going to copy paste your team, to be honest, mate.
Go back one, because I think that's a good team. I think that's a pretty decent side for this week. I wouldn't make too many. I
mean, the only thing I wouldn't do, but again, I'm no expert. I would be like, I would never put Isaac as a lone forward, to be honest.
Who else is who's on the bench for his forwards? Porro. So that would have swapped out. I bet that wasn't his starting 11. That's after subs.
Yeah.
So,
I would be curious as to who was then who went in for that. So you got he's at 1 point, but that also sucks for this week because you got like 2 forwards who are likely aren't to play, right?
Yeah.
So you have to do something here because you can't have Wood as a lone forward.
Would Forest have got Will Forest got this week?
Yeah, I'm trying information fixtures. They have Brighton
away.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
So that's where I would be focusing. Because again, look, yeah, you had a crap week. Okay, so did I. But you got Salah in there. So he's a player, obviously. Playing Bournemouth. Okay.
If you could swap, if I was going to pick one, I'd go Ollie Watkins at Villa, just looking at the fixtures and the fact he started to score some goals. Even the Chelsea striker, what's his name? Nicholas. I can't remember his name. Hold on.
But I guess you don't have any free transfers, right, mate? Because you played your 3 last week.
So he'll have one for this. I think he'll have one for this week. So
excuse me. Yeah, sorry, you have one free. Sorry, but yeah, I got 1 free transfer. So do something with the forward, basically.
I would look. Chelsea have got quite a easy run, so just planning ahead. Nicholas Jackson is his name. Nicholas Jackson.
All right.
He's 7.6 million. I don't know how much that compares to Isaac. I think he's probably less.
I don't know how much this guy's got in the bank either, right? Because if you're going to transfer in a forward, you're going to get rid of Isaac because he's 8.4.
So 8.4. So we can just switch Isaac for.
Is it the same value? Is it?
He's less. He's something like 6.5. Jackson.
All right, sorry. I'm not reading the chat. He's telling us, right? He's got 2 million free, and he's got 2 free transfers, and he's got 2 million in the bank.
Oh, right.
It's a good situation to be in, to be honest.
Yeah.
I predict a good game week for you, mate. I do. I think good things are going to happen to you. That's only because because Salah's my captain as well, so I want us both to have a good game week together.
I've got Salah captain this week as well, just because they're playing Bournemouth, I think. And granted, he never has 2 bad weeks in a row.
True.
And also, Man City have got Arsenal.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, they played midweek as well, right?
Oh, they did. They did. Yes, we're thinking Watkins to and Garner to Mbowe. Yeah, that's exactly what I would.
And that makes sense. What
That's
about
exactly what I would go for.
what Rogers? This guy
I think he's
he's getting
he plays for Villa. He hasn't scored any
yeah.
real points. I don't think.
I guess he can just sit on the bench or something for the time
Yeah, he's
being. But
definitely.
yeah,
He's probably a budget enabler, as they call him in.
exactly, exactly. You would know all about that with the most expensive forward, midfielder, and defender, right, mate?
I haven't got him in my side though. I've got.
I'm really appreciating this solidarity between Travel Goer, the guy in the chat there, me and you, we're really representing the no Haaland teams, which is very few of them because 70% do have them. So I'm enjoying that.
70, is it 70? I've seen it higher than that. It was up to like 95 at one stage.
Was it? Or maybe I haven't refreshed
last season, not this year. Last, he's too expensive.
Right.
They've priced him up to reduce the demand as best they can.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like this idea of doing team reviews. That was good fun. More of that.
Yeah.
City matches are a tough watch as well. A friend of mine I was speaking to today, actually, he's an Arsenal fan, and he was saying that the Arsenal game midweek, that was a tough watch as well. Because it was such a boring game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who were Arsenal playing midweek again in the Champions League? I never watched the Champions League. I don't care.
Atalanta, which is Italian side.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. 1 second.
I watched the Liverpool game Tuesday. Enjoyed that.
Who is that?
And then Man City was a bit of a ball draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Who
were Liverpool playing?
AC Milan.
Ah, right. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And I rarely get a chance to watch Champions League because it's there. I mean, in Germany, the only place you can really watch it is DAZN. I'm not sure you know. Does that exist in the UK as well?
Yeah, they got a lot of boxing on there. DAZN, they call it, or something like that.
Yeah, I refuse to call that because it's a stupid name.
I agree.
DAZN, yeah. And also it's I actually had a subscription when it first started, and it's one of those things back in the day. I remember when it cost €10 and it included the Premier League. It's now €45, and it basically has Champions League, and that's it. It's like, so am I going to pay €45 just to watch Champions League football? No, I'm not. So I just forego that.
To be honest, mate, it's really, I've got, like, it's on every day, and it's been on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I watched the Liverpool game Tuesday because I like Liverpool, and I was like, and then I had work Wednesday, and I had stuff to do Wednesday and Thursday, so it's like, well, cheers, lads. Have a good one, and good luck this weekend. You too, Travel Goer.
Yeah, too, mate. Have a good one.
All right.
I'll save your team name so I can check to see how you go.
Yeah.
You're on my browser history now, you know, right?
We should do this next week now, right? We should.
Yeah.
We should do a team review, and that can be our selling point.
Did you mark that comment, or did I do it? By the way,
mark the comment.
Yeah,
I haven't intentionally done that.
It's up on the screen there, but I'm not sure if I did it or not. I don't think I can do it. You think?
So how do I get rid of it?
I don't know. I use Restream, not StreamYard. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. That was me.
You're an expert. You're an expert.
I'm getting there, mate. I'm getting there. Don't normally get any comments. It's just me talking to a blank wall.
Feel offended now. Call me a blank wall or something, mate.
This is probably a good time to wrap things up, buddy. It's been fun. We'll definitely do this again, and I will try and get Justin Bird involved. I'm calling you out now, Birdie, because you can come and tell us why you used your wild card last week. We're still very eager to know.
That's a good point. That's a whole different topic as well. The use of wildcards. We didn't touch on that.
No, we haven't.
So
no.
Get Justin on, and we can have a conversation about that.
I'm taking -4s, and he's wildcarding his team after 3 weeks. It's like feels a bit early for that. But
it does.
With the 5 transfers, if you got a bit more flexibility now. So perhaps it's.
You could essentially, if you really go about it right, you could use your wild card like round about the Christmas break, the Christmas period when all those crazy games.
That's when I always save it up for then. I wait for the international breaks to be out the way.
Okay.
And then see how they're setting up for Christmas. That's how I tend to use it. A lot of people wait for like the first or second international break and then set it up then. But I usually wait for about December.
That makes sense. I've never. I think I'll try and do that. Excuse me. I'll try and do that this year and see how it goes. Basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole different topic, and I look forward to the next time talking about it with you, mate.
All right, Ben. Nice one, mate. Then I'll
Right.
catch you later, buddy.
Speak to you there. Thanks, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye.